I arrived a day before my shift started. The sea, so blue it felt like I could dive into it with just my eyes. The sun was hot. My skin quickly got sticky from sunscreen and sand. Then, they gave me the uniform, mesh, light fabric, a black crop top and tiny shorts. "You're a good fit," said the manager without even looking at my resume. Because here, diplomas don't matter. The bar stood right on the beach, built into a wooden terrace. The music wasn't too loud, but it hummed through your body, like the sea itself. I was nervous that first day, messed up an order, burned my hand on the coffee machine, spilled ice all over the counter, but the clients were either tipsy or in love with the air itself. No one noticed, almost no one. He was sitting alone, not at the bar, at a small table off to the side, under the shade of a straw roof. He wasn't looking at the sea, or his phone. He was looking at me. I didn't notice it right away, but then I caught his gaze and couldn't let it go. He wasn't smiling, just watching, not rudely, not boldly, as if he were studying me. And I felt it. When he came over, the order was simple, virgin mojito, no sugar, but his voice? Low. Calm. Like that drink wasn't really what he came for. I served the order and walked away fast. Too fast. My legs weren't listening, and my heart wasn't racing from the heat. That evening, when the bar was closing, he was still there, alone, same table, same seat. I pretended to wipe down the tables. He pretended to read, but we both knew this was the beginning, and we both felt it wouldn't end here. He started coming every day, always the same table, near the edge of the terrace, just off to the side, a cup of coffee, sometimes a glass of wine, but always that same look. I tried not to look back, but I failed. The first few days, I just caught myself smiling for no reason. Then, I started putting on lip gloss before my shift. And one day, I held my bend just a little longer when placing a tray. He never made a move, didn't flirt, didn't call me over, but it felt like he was waiting for me to come closer. One day I spilled some water right next to his table. I bent down to wipe it and felt him lean toward me too, so close that my hair brushed against his hand. I froze, and so did he. Silent. "Did you hurt yourself?" he asked, softly, as if he wasn't asking about the water, but something deeper. I nodded, but didn't straighten up right away, just a few inches between us. He didn't pull away. "Do you always spill so carefully?" This time with a slight smile, like a line from another movie, a more suggestive one. I stood up slowly. He looked straight into my eyes. I don't know how it happened, but when I brought the bill, his fingers touched mine, just for a second. But it was enough. Enough to make everything warm, down low. The bar suddenly felt too loud, people, too present. "I'll stay a bit after my shift," I said, not looking at him. "Okay," he replied, "I'll wait." And when the last customers left and the curtains behind the bar were already drawn, he was still there, and I didn't go home. I closed the bar, turned off the music, left only the lights under the shelves. A warm golden glow spilled across the wooden floor, like honey. He was still there, same spot, not moving, only now. His elbows were resting on his knees, and his gaze had changed, no longer attentive, not curious, hungry. "Are you always this patient?" I asked, stepping closer. He gave a small smile. "Not always, only when it's worth it." I walked to the bar counter, stood across from him, just 1 meter between us, and 1,000 unspoken things. "Want to try a cocktail I made up?" "Only if you pour it yourself." I pretended to mix something, but my hands were shaking, fingers slipped just a little on the glass, and he caught it before it could fall. His hand closed over mine, a movement that felt accidental, but his fingers didn't let go. He didn't say a word, just stood, came around the counter, and suddenly, he was beside me. Everything inside me went still. He ran his fingers along my shoulder slowly, like it wasn't a gesture, but a question. I didn't answer. I just stepped closer. Our lips met, with no hurry, warm at first, careful, then deeper. His hand found my waist, mine slid up his chest. Clothes suddenly felt unnecessary. The air too hot. He didn't rush, but he didn't step back either. When he kissed just below my ear, I nearly lost my breath. My back arched on its own. My body already knew, before I could even think. "Here?" he asked. I shook my head. Too many memories would stay. I work here. He understood, and when we walked the path toward my place, my fingers rested in his hand, and my heart was in my throat. The night was quiet. The warmth of his skin, steady. And when he stepped into my room, I wasn't thinking anymore. I was just feeling. I woke up to the light, soft like a blanket. It wrapped around me, but didn't wake me. The air smelled like salt, skin, and something new. He was asleep, on the floor, on a beach cushion right beneath the open window, covered only by a sheet with one arm stretched toward me, as if, even in sleep, he didn't want distance between us. I sat up in bed, slowly. Every muscle remembered, in body and in feeling. It had all felt real. No games, no shoulds, just what we wanted. He looked at me differently. Not the way men look at a body, but like he saw more, or wanted to. I got up, put on his shirt, too big, smelling of smoke and sea, walked barefoot out to the porch. The sun was already rising. Waves whispered lazily to each other. The beach was completely empty. I leaned against the railing. The wind played with my hair, and right then I noticed I was smiling. No one knew what I'd done last night. No one but him. And maybe that's why I felt so calm. He came out a minute later, wrapped his arms around me from behind, no words. I felt his cheek on my shoulder, his hands at my waist, and that warmth, not from the sun, but from him. "Do you regret it?" he asked. I didn't answer, just turned my head and kissed his cheek. Sometimes morning says more than the night, when you're not hiding, not running, just staying with him. On the porch, by the shore, where it all started with a single glance and ended with me not wanting him to leave.